What's going on YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Just going to go over those three today. We're going to be starting in here for Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. And first of all, guys, I'm on a new setup here, new computer and microphone and everything. So let me know how the volume sounds. If it needs to go up a little bit, if it needs to go down a little bit, please put that down low for me. So appreciate that, and we'll dig into this. Bitcoin right now is at $8,703. And what we're witnessing here, and this is not uncommon at all, even if we came back to the breakout area of this rising wedge. So a lot of times, over 50% of the time, when you have a nice strong breakout like this, you can actually come back and back test that area, set a higher low, and then you can actually move on. Now, throwbacks like that hurt performance, so that's something we do have to be aware of. The next move that you have typically isn't as strong as a move that you had right here, but a lot of the times this happens, and it gives guys even a second shot to get in. You'll read about this a lot in trading books. So what I would like to do now is wait for some type of confirmation for a nice higher low to set, maybe even with the stock cross here on the 4-hour time frame, and see what happens for maybe that next leg up. But we do have to remember that we had a decent amount of selling come in right here. You can see this heavier volume here, well above average, and it also happened with a long leg doji up top here. So in my opinion, that shows that there is going to be a few days here of just downside or even sideways action to let everything cool down before we potentially could go back up and challenge even that $10,500 area. That's definitely in the cards down the road, but right now we're paying attention to how much this is going to retrace on how much volume and where we're going to set that next higher low so that we can potentially make that next move to the upside. It's not a guarantee, just something that we have to be aware of. But you see we had really strong volume come in here. We had a climax of volume. So a lot of times when you have a long white candle like this, and then the next day's a long leg doji on a lot of volume, that can show you that there's a lot of selling taking place. Guys were taking their profits yesterday. I was taking some profits yesterday. It just is what it is. When anything goes up 15%, you want to take some profit. That's something I always recommend to people. You know, if you're in a trade down here and you're playing this and you're riding this up and you caught this, a lot of the times when you see something go up 15%, you always want to take a little bit of profit there, and then maybe let the rest ride. You know, that's always a way you can do it as well. But you know, when profits staring you in the face, at least how I've seen in this space, I need to take it sometimes, because we ran into overhead resistance at this $9,190 with that long leg doji, with more volume coming in, also a stock cross to the downside. So for me, that was a beautiful time to sell off. But now we're looking for that next area where we potentially could go long again. We're going to see. We just have to sit back and wait and see what takes place here and where we're going to set that higher low. So if we bounce out to the 1-day time frame now for Bitcoin, what we want to do, we want to be up above that 200-day moving average. You can see we've done that. That was very important for us to get up above that. Now, in my opinion, we need to continue to hold that. We don't want to start dropping back down below it again, but it's nice to see that our trend now, we're finally back up above that. That area is going to be at 7,979. So overall, we need to hold that as support, because if we had this massive move like we did and then we drop back below it, that's going to be a huge sign of weakness, and then guys will be shorting that and you'll just see it tumble. So that's why it's so important right now. We have this ugly candle forming right now that you can see a really long wick up into this area where we test higher resistance at that 9,190. But this now is coming on heavier volume, so we have to be aware of that. And on the 1 day, we have that stock here down to the downside. So in my opinion, this was such a move that we would need time to cool off. Could anything happen? Absolutely, guys. This is cryptocurrency. I'm never going to put on the wizard's hat and tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to go off the technicals, look at the buying and selling. That's the way that I play this game, and I try to ride the whale's coattails. That's what I try to do in this space, and I think that's probably the best strategy, because you never want to just hope and wish in a market. You want to align yourself. You want to put the odds in your favor. You want to be with the trend. And you want to go from there. So that's very important for us. And right now we are having a little bit heavier volume sell-off here, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did come back, even start, you know, back testing $8,500 and then even back down to that 200 moving average, you know, in a couple days. That wouldn't shock me at all. But it doesn't mean that this run would be over. You know, we're up above all our critical moving averages right now. Even that 20, you always want to stay in an uptrend. We're up above that, as you can see. So things are looking good. It's just we need to cool down, most likely, and that's what we're going to see. A lot of profit being taken up in this area here, so we have to pay attention to that. Something you don't want to overlook. All right, so that's Bitcoin, guys. You get some from that. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I mean, you can just see that on the 4 hour how we've had some decent selling coming in here. Look at these bars. Okay. So, I mean, even back to this 20, which is common, guys. We got a lot of air here. Even back to that 20 there, that's going to put us back at around 8,365. That wouldn't even be a terrible spot. You know, depending on what the candles are doing and what the stock's doing and all this other type of stuff, price action, what the price action is doing. But we have to pay attention to this sell-off. And for me, I don't want to jump back in just yet. That's just where I'm at. So, guys, you get some from that. Like, subscribe, and then we'll go on to Litecoin here. Take a look. Overall, Dow Jones today down about 358. You know, we've been pretty correlated with all that. So for Litecoin now, we're at 4704. And at 4704, we're trying to find support right here. Do you see this previous resistance? We're trying to find support off that, and that's going to be around $46.76. So we're going to look at that area. You can see we've actually had a little bit of the bulls defending this area. We have some wick action there. Price action getting a little tighter, but yet again, we still had a lot of selling up in this area. Do you see this heavy volume here? That was significant. We had our downward stock cross. So maybe wait for this area where we potentially could get a nice stock cross back to the upside with a bullish candlestick formation on top of some, you know, resistances that we broke out through that we want to turn to support. But for me, I'm still not there yet. I want to continue to see what type of cooling off we have, because if we don't hold this 46.76, we'll call it, then we're going to look down to about 45.16. Then for me, I would most likely look down to about that $44.17, as well as that 200 moving average on the 4 hour time frame at $42.38. But this is significant selling volume as well, guys. And we have to be aware of that. You can see each time after we make a strong pump, we have a nice retracement. I mean, that just is what it is. People are going to take profit. Look over here. Do you see this big pump? What happened? People took profit, and the trend just kept going. So, I mean, this would be healthy for us to cool down so we can maybe make that next leg up to try to challenge $51. Then it could be up even around that $63. But I think it's always a good thing to be patient, really just watch the market and wait for that great opportunity. That's how I like to play things. So that's Litecoin. You guys get something from that, let me know down low. Let me know if you're in a position still or if you sold off. And then we'll get into Ethereum. ETH's at 208. And what I like about ETH here, I mean, this has just been a beautiful uptrend. As you see, we're holding, this is the uptrend. We want to stretch out here and even continue. So we don't want to lose this yellow trend line. That's the main thing that we're watching there. You can see we're up above our 20, EMA, our 50, and our 200. So trend clearly up, higher highs, higher lows. Looking good there. We're going to see where we find support now. We're looking to see if we can find support around 205. If we don't find it at 205, I'd probably look down to $195 off that 50 moving average, which we've been finding as support, and then be down around this trend line right here. Okay, now if we get a nice burst to the upside, we need to get over top of $226.34 and then be up around $247.97. That'd be a nice spot right up here where we had this bearish engulfing candle, and then we just really fell hard. But we would have a lot of resistance even if we can get through that. The height we could get to there, breaking through 3 resistance, would be about 286, and then we'd have to reevaluate everything there. But right now we are still in that healthy uptrend. We had a stock cross to the downside. We've had some selling here, as you can see, heavy selling right out of there. So profit was being taken. Guys, that's what I'm saying. People are going to take profit. When they see a 15% gain and they're playing big positions, I mean, what do you think is going to happen? If someone's looking at $20,000 or $30,000 and they can take a profit, they're going to take a profit, and that's going to cause the market to relax. And that's the movements of these markets. Look at this. Here's a big pump, retracement. Big pump, retracement. Big pump, retracement. Big pump, retracement. And we're just looking to find that next high or low. And for confirmations, that's what you want to do. You always want to put the trend on your side and look for those confirmations, really looking at price action. Price action can tell you so much. And that's a mistake that I had when I first started out in cryptocurrency. I was going more off just indicators and candles, and I really wasn't just watching the price action, looking for those higher highs and higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows, and defining that trend. Because the people who can find the trend, even on the short term here, say we have a big fall, We came up, we had a lower high, but we set a higher low here. There are guys that could jump into a play like that and continue to hold, and then they actually made a little bit of a gain if they sold out up top here, but they were looking for that first higher low. They were looking for the confirmation of a trend change, and trends can be in the short term, the intermediate term, or the longer term. And short term's anything under like 3 weeks. So there's guys who are just scout out short term or intermediate term and then just jump on those, ride them for a couple days to a week, and then, or a little bit longer than that, and then they sell out. And they take their profit and they look for the next opportunity. It's about not marrying coins. That's one thing that you never really want to do. You want to look for good opportunities. When profit's staring you in the face, take it. And, don't look back. Don't be upset even if the market continues to rip and the RSI is at 96 and you sold out on the RSI on the one day when it's at 82 like you were supposed to, and you're seeing a bearish candlestick formation with 82, and you're having all these different things that, the histogram going to the downside, and the whales jump in and they manipulate, and there's a whole nother leg up. You did the right thing. You took profit. You went off the indicators, how a market should work. You even let it go past that 70 mark. You're up at 80. You did everything that you were supposed to do. So this market's crazy. It's a wild bull. It's a wild Mustang, and it's going to do what it wants to do, and the whales are going to do what they want to do. No one up here would have thought that Ethereum was going to be at $248 and they'd wake up in the morning and it was at $100. That's just the name of the game, but that's why we're in this space, because if you can catch these moves, it's something special. And that's what we're looking to do here, guys. So if you get something from this, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Leave just a thumbs up, an exclamation point. You guys have been doing great with that. It helps out with the algorithm, helps me get out there, and hopefully we can help more people along this cryptocurrency space. That's the main thing, and help people learn this for themselves. If you can learn trading, you don't have to listen to anybody, and that's what I'm looking for. So God bless you all, guys. Take care.